Hey, Rich Basil here again. I want to just talk real quick about packing for our upcoming trip. We're going in a few months down to Chile to do some fly fishing down there with my wife. And I just wanted to kind of get somebody's opinion as to kind of what they thought and give you my thoughts on this too. So I've been fly fishing with this Fishpond Dakota case, carrying all my rods all over the world for years. It's held up great, taking this to the Bahamas, South America, Kamchatka, Alaska. Never had a problem carrying this on and putting it in the overhead bins on the airlines. The only time I ever had a problem was down in South America. Argentine Airlines, they would not let me carry my reels with line on them on the airplane for some reason. But that was the only place that I ever had a problem. And it wasn't due to the case, it was due to the line on the reels. So in here I've got 5 or 6 rods right now with several reels, and that's usually what I take. So this case though is made for 9-foot rods. It's really not made to carry rods that are any longer than that broken down. So I've been getting into doing a lot of switch rod fishing recently, some long nymph rod fishing, and I've got rods now that are 10.5 and 11.5 foot long, and they will not fit in the original Fishpond case. So Fishpond makes the Dakota 45, and I ordered it and I got it in, and this is what it looks like. It's basically the same dimensions in the line of height and depth, but the length of this is now 45 inches. It actually measures 46, and it'll hold easily my rods up to they say up to 13.5 foot rods will fit in here. I don't have any that long, but obviously my 11.5 foot switch rod easily fits in this. But this thing is big. I don't know if you can appreciate how big this is, and I have a feeling that if I come up to the gate agent and try and walk on the airplane with this in my hand, they're going to say no and make me check it or potentially gate check it. And that's not a big deal, other than I really don't like to leave all that equipment out of my sight, especially with the cost of what's in here approaching a replacement cost that most insurances are not going to cover. So I really want to be able to carry everything on. I just don't have any experience as to whether or not they will let me on this airplane with this. Now, if you go by their dimensions, most airlines, United, American, Delta, have a total length of 45 inches they'll allow, and that is length of the baggage item versus depth versus width should be no more than 45 inches. The old Fishpond, exactly 45 inches. If you go length versus depth versus width, comes up to exactly 45. It's a 31-inch long case. This one starts out at 45, already 46, so it's already over the limit just length alone. You add the height and depth, and you're up to 60 inches. So they can easily claim, no, that dimension of that bag is too big. You cannot carry that on the airplane. Now, there are mentions on the web, on the internet, about people carrying this case on, and people have said that they don't have any problem. But most of those reviews are 5 or 6 years old now. And I don't know, with the way things are recently at airports, whether they'll let me carry this on. Plus, the security has changed also, so I'm concerned about that. I wish I had some recent experience. The other difference is that we're flying international, and we get down to some of the smaller airlines down in Chile. They may have restrictions that are even more severe, so I just don't think this is going to be a viable option for me. So then I was looking at other options, and the other option is to take my Fishpond for all my 9-foot rods and put all the reels and everything else in there, but then try and carry a separate tube with my longer fly rods in it. So Plano makes this one. I looked at this, it's actually at Bass Pro Shops, $16.99. I picked this up the other day to see if it would fit all my long rods that I want to take, and this is the Plano 42-inch rod tube. And lo and behold, I'm able to put my rods in here and get them all to fit. So in here, you pack them butt to tip. I was able to get my 10-foot rod, my 4-weight in there. I was able to get my 11.5-foot switch rod in there, and I was able to get my 10.5-foot nymphing rod in there also. So I think that this combination, if I come to the gate agent with that in my hand, they're going to be more likely to let me on the airplane with that, and I'll probably just strap this on here somehow. I think that's going to be less obtrusive and more likely to allow me to pass than if I approach them with this in my hand. I just think I'm going to get too much pushback from that. Love to hear what other people's experiences are with this. This is a great product. And the only question is, in today's environment, can you carry this on international flights? And what about anybody's experience with it, in some of the smaller airlines internationally? Now, I have no problem if I'm on a small plane where you're going to fly with the cargo and they just have to carry it, like on the Bahamas when you're island hopping or something like that. Yeah, that's no problem because I know where my bag is. I watched it actually get loaded. But when you check it or you gate check it and it disappears from view, that's when things happen, and I just don't like that idea. So I'd love to hear everybody's opinion, but in either case, I think that for this upcoming trip, I'm going to probably hold this in reserve and take this combination and see how I do, and I'll let you guys know.